So I thought I'd make a video on how to get your first programming job without experience. So a lot of the complaints I've heard are people want programming jobs, but they get confused where to start because to get a job you need experience, but to get experience you need a job. So it's the more of the catch-22. And I just thought I'd share my experiences because I landed my first programming job without any experience or internships. And compared to other YouTube videos I saw, it's mostly other developers who had internships, but they're just giving out advice to people who never had experience. But I want to actually impart some of my own experiences since I'm actually going through the same thing as you guys. So it's going to be more of a casual video. This is all totally unscripted. I have a list of things I want to talk about, but it's just more of a casual video, and hopefully you can get some points out of it. I'll be linking in the description some a more detailed description of everything, including links that you should check out and other little points of advice that I might have missed in this video. So how we're going to structure this video is we're going to go through the basics of a resume and how to get your first phone call, and the things that you can add to your resume are the more technical aspects of what you can do to improve yourself towards the end of the video. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is your resume. Since you're starting out as a junior developer, do not make your resume more than one page. I say this because your employer goes through 100 resumes a day. He doesn't have the time to read a 3-page resume, and considering you don't have experience, there's going to be nothing really on that 3 pages worth reading. It's probably things you made up, or captain of the high school team, you play the guitar. Nobody cares about this stuff in real life. People really care if you actually have something related to development or something related to the skills they're looking for. So by concising your resume to one page, you're actually taking out all the stuff you don't need and putting all the important points onto your resume. Number 2 is your cover letter. I'm not a big fan of cover letters, to be honest. But a cover letter is more of a personal letter to the employer why they should pick you. It gives you a more personal story compared to what your resume should have. So a cover letter kind of describes your interests, like, oh, I like programming because, I like to solve problems that people are having. I like to solve solutions and things like that to get your employer to have a better idea or understanding of who you are. Yeah, an important thing is if you have internships, write them down. I consider, if you are lucky to have them, I didn't have them, but if you're lucky to have internships, make that the main part of your resume. Write down what you did in your internship and write the responsibilities you did, what you discovered, how you helped other people out, what technologies you used, because that's the thing that employers want to see. So if you have an internships, definitely write about that. Number 4 is make a LinkedIn profile. A LinkedIn profile is awesome because there are always job recruiters looking out for tech talent because we're so low on them. So make a LinkedIn profile, write down your skills, get connected with recruiters, and maybe they can pick you up. They'll see you, they'll add you on LinkedIn. I would say just accept them if you know they're like from any established redeemed company, because they can actually help you land jobs. Personally, I've never had that much luck with recruiters, but I've known a lot of friends who got jobs from them. So getting a LinkedIn profile is definitely important. A good network is very, very important. A lot of the times you get a job based on people you know. That's like the easiest way, because when you actually get a job through someone you know, it's easier than actually sending a resume online, because your resume is probably going to be lost among 1,000 other applicants just like you. Yeah, so find someone else. So I guess that's kind of point number 5. If you have people who work in the tech industry, approach them, say that you're out looking for a job, and try to ask them to maybe recommend you or at least land that interview, because landing the interview is a pretty good step. The rest is on you. They can't really get you a job if you don't know your stuff, but getting the interview is the hardest part. That for me it was, because acing the interview wasn't too bad, but wow. But it's getting the interview is a good point. All right, let's see what we have here. Yeah, I just want to make a disclaimer also that important thing a lot of people do is give up too. I see people take, after like 2 or 3 job interviews, are like, oh, I don't think I can do this. They want to give up, they get lazy, but full disclaimer, um, I actually got 29 rejection letters on my first job application search because I didn't have experience. I didn't have anything really to write. So I got 29 rejection letters. I think letter number 30 was my acceptance letter into the current company I am right now. But hard work, perseverance, that's definitely a given. So another good thing to do I found is even if the application says senior developer, apply for it anyways, because sometimes they might see that, oh, we like you, but we don't have you, you're not qualified for the senior position, but we might have a position for you as a junior developer. So apply for things that even if they're out of your scope, just apply for it. So a little background about me: I got hired as a C#.NET developer, and I couldn't write any C# on my interview. I couldn't even write "Hello World" because I didn't know the app command to write to the console window. But what helped me during my interview was I knew C++ really, really well. I mean, as a college graduate, I thought I knew it pretty well because I knew the algorithms, I knew basic problem solving. So I would say learn a solid language and just apply to everything, because I found that interviewers, like, if you know the basic concepts of maybe object-oriented programming or something similar, I don't know, they will hire you. Because I got hired for a C#.NET developer just knowing C++. So apply for anything you can. Don't say to yourself that you're not good enough for it, because in fact there's a lot of shortage of tech talent that we need. So now comes the technical side of what you can do. What I did, I know that what helped me get job interviews is I had a GitHub account. So a GitHub is like an online portfolio of code that you write. So whenever I made an app or I made a website, I would post the source code onto GitHub. So you get a little sticker sort of every time you upload code to GitHub. And as long as so when I first was applying for my first job, now I don't use my GitHub too much because I'm developing all the time. But before, when I wasn't developing as much, I used to post code to GitHub every day so employers could see, hey, he's coding something. And then they could see my source code, they can see the projects I've been working on, and I had a good amount of followers on GitHub, so that kind of helped a lot. So yeah, you have to kind of sell yourself, I guess. What I'm trying to say is show employers that you can get, what do I say? Show employers that you know how to build stuff. You need to show them something. You can't just go in there empty-handed. Number 2 would be Stack Overflow. It's a little, I wouldn't really recommend this. It's a little bit harder, but if you are pretty good at something and you know it, Stack Overflow is like a question and answer website for developers who ask questions about programming, and you get points based on answering. That's also a pretty good way. It's a little bit time consuming and it can be intimidating when you're first starting out. I know when I first started out on Stack Overflow, it was very scary and I had a lot of trouble with it. But as time goes on, you understand how to use the site. You can already ask questions. They downvote you for that. But asking really solid, well-formed questions, and you would have to read the Stack Overflow FAQ to understand what consists of a solid question. But asking good questions, answering them well, can help you get a lot of points. And if an employer sees that you have a lot of points on Stack Overflow, that can help you land a job interview very good. Another thing, a technical thing that I did was I had an online popularity for this. There was this question and answer website called Quora. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Quora.com. And they ask questions and answers. And one day I saw this question about what were the coolest Python scripts you wrote. So I wrote a couple of them. Like, I made a Python script to organize movies on what I should watch, what I shouldn't watch, based on what I had on my hard drive. And I made I don't know, I made a bunch of stuff that was like made mostly for other people because other people had problems, like they needed something to like bypass the firewall after, like when I lived in a dorm, we didn't have Wi-Fi after 9 o'clock because of firewalls. So people asked me to write scripts to get them bypass them. So I wrote scripts like that just for other people. And then when I saw this question, I thought I'd just write down what I wrote, and then it got picked up pretty well. It got sent out to a lot of Quora subscribers, so I added that to my resume. And when employers see that you have a notable online reputable, source, it can cause, them to say, hey, he's pretty cool in the sense that he has an online community following him. He built cool stuff. He made it open source. He sent it out to a bunch of people, and apparently a lot of people are using his stuff. So that means he must have made something really valuable. So get out there, start up your online community, build up things, contribute to open source projects. A little hard also when you're first starting out. I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, make an online, reputable, what's the word? I'm missing the word I want. Like online popularity, reputation. There you go. Online reputation for yourself. Let's see what else is on here. Code Academy was another thing I did. That was a pretty good website. They teach you how to code. You code along, and they give you a little badge once you're finished the course, and you can send that to your employer too, or on your resume, so they could see the number of courses you took. Let's see. YouTube channels. Make up YouTube channels. Teach people how to code. Things like that. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's basically it. So let me know in the comments if this video helped you, and let me know if you need help. I'd be glad to reply to any comments that need help. So thank you.